Hey guys, it's Risky. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to make a mod for Spintires Mud Runner, truck mod. So yeah, this will be a in-depth tutorial, about an hour and something long. So so basically what you need is you either need 3ds Max or Blender. I suggest 3ds Max 2016, but if you get Blender, it's the same thing, same process. This process is basically universal, all this stuff. So yeah. So first, when we load up 3ds Max, you'll notice there's a grid. That's just normal. It doesn't have anything to do with Spintires or anything like that, by the way. But, yeah. So I'm gonna make a box. This box isn't gonna be huge and enormous. It's gonna be about that big. And it's kind of big in the game. It's a pretty big box if we threw it into the game right now. So this is gonna be my truck. I'm not gonna have a detailed truck at all. Just 'cause it's a tutorial. If you use like a crazy detailed truck, it wouldn't work. Or it would be hard if you use your first truck, if you're going to try to make a detailed truck. So first what you want to do is right click on it once you made your truck a whole solid, or select your whole truck and group it. I don't have to because this is one mesh. And I'm gonna right click on it, I'm gonna hit move, and I'm gonna hit the little box right here, and then I'm gonna set all the X, Y, and Z axis on the absolute world side, left side, all to 0. Now what this does is it basically just makes it in the center. Just do that. And then what you want to do is you want to scale it down pretty small. Actually, rescale this part. Once you rescale stuff, you have to reset the X form, or else it like everything messes up, and your model like literally it won't even be. It'll just be in pieces if you throw it in game. So what you need to do is you need to hit the hammer, hit reset X form, and reset selected. Then you're going to hit the rainbow thing that says modify, and you'll be actually working in the modify panel for like with a lot of stuff. It's pretty cool. You can do like I could take this box and make it a sphere in the modify panel, but you go to the X form, you hit right click on it and hit collapse to, and then your X form is resetted. So yeah, so now that we have our model scaled and all that stuff, we if we threw it in the game, we actually wouldn't be able to spawn it at all. Reason being is because it doesn't have a thing called a CDT. Basically, if I put a CDT, like, oh crap, if I made a CDT like this big, basically anything that's inside the box, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's pretty confusing stuff. But anyway, you gotta make one, okay? Or else if I didn't have a CDT and I would be able to spawn it into the game, wouldn't be able, it wouldn't, it basically, if I could go through buildings and stuff, and that's pretty unrealistic. So just make a CDT, uh, make it about as big, uh, as the model. If you're like some people and you just take your thing and copy your whole model, you can do that too, by the way. So, yeah. Name that box that you just made CDT, or whatever. And there, now you have a CDT. Congratulations, I guess. Uh, And yeah, so anyway, let's get on with the tutorial. Now really I would be just throwing it in game right now to test it to make sure everything's set properly, but I'm not going to do that. Oh crap. Wait a minute. But I'm not going to do that now just cuz I know this is going to work. Oh crap. Wait a minute. Okay, also if you hit G and hit G, it'll erase the grids. So that's kind of useful. But I know this is gonna work. Now, if you wanted yours to be tested and you want to throw it in your game, first off, you need a base code. Just create a classes and meshes. Take a classes off of one of the stock trucks. Actually show you guys how to do it now. Um, I'll create a whole new folder and I'll call it box code You don't need to name it box code. Doesn't matter what it's named. So let me just see. So let's go into Spintires Mud Runner and go into the media .zip folder. You'll notice you have stuff like classes, meshes, or wait, you don't have meshes, but you have classes and stuff like that. So go to the classes and then go to trucks, because we're working with the truck, and just do something like GAZ66 and copy it and then paste it into, let's just say here for now. And then now we got to make a new folder. We have to name it classes. Everything spelled right, everything lowercase, do all that crap, and you'll be good. And then what you need to do, I could throw it into the classes right now and call it a day, but you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to make another folder in classes and name it trucks. And then I would just take this and do that. And then make another one called wheels. Now, for the sake of the video, I'm just going to use the wheels off the GAZ66. It's appropriate for this because why not? So let's see. You're gonna have to, or just find any wheels, but the ones off the GAZ66 work well. Where in the world do they put this thing? Well, you just take a like big tractor or MAZ big tractor wheel or something like that. Let me see if I can't. Oh yeah, wait. You gotta go into the wheels. So you go into classes wheels, and you'll find all the wheels. So I'm gonna use GAZ front and rear, I guess. I'm gonna copy those and paste them into the. You're gonna paste it into classes wheels. That's what you're gonna do. So yeah. Now, if we were to just throw this box code folder into our media folder, all we would have is just a GAZ. It would work fine because it's all coded into the game. But if we were to throw a different model on it, if we put, oh crap, that's great. But if we were to throw another model in the meshes folder that we haven't created yet, it still wouldn't work. You'd still get the GAZ66. So you have to do some coding. It's not hard coding. I mean, it's like really easy actually. So you're gonna do the same for meshes. Just make meshes all lowercase, and then do trucks and wheels. Well, actually, I don't need to do wheels. But if you had a custom wheel, you'd also do wheels. But trucks. So here's where I'm gonna put my 3D model. But I'm not just gonna save it into there. I'm not going to do that. What we do is you actually hit the 3 right up here. You go into export. And this is assuming that you already have a DirectX exporter. I'll leave a link in the description. So you go to where you saved your thing, which actually I'm gonna go ahead and put this in easy find or whatever it's called. Quick access, that's what it's called. Quick access box code. So then you go to meshes, trucks, and then what you do is you hit the drop down and go to KW export. That's what I'll link to you. And you need to go to file name. I'm gonna name this box code dot. Don't you have to just put the box code. Hit save. You need to export materials. Uh, uncheck export compressed, export binary, export skinning, and all this is fine. And you're gonna hit OK. Don't touch anything. Don't do anything. Just don't even move your mouse. Just let it sit there until you are able to select objects. And then you're good. So now we can throw it into the game and test it. So if I actually look, box code meshes trucks, I have my box code.x. Now it wouldn't work because I have to do coding, which I mentioned earlier. So the coding I'm going to do is I'm going to have to go in classes, trucks, GAZ66. Open this with Notepad or Notepad++. I suggest Notepad++ because it makes everything easier. So then you're going to go down and find what we call the mesh frame, I think it's called. Alright, hit search and hit find. So you don't have to wait for all this crap. And you're just going to type in mesh. And do it until you find this line of code. Physics model mesh equals, in quotation marks, trucks GAZ66. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to change this GAZ66 to box code. Make sure everything's spelled right, all that stuff. You got to make sure that box code is spelled like box code. Oh crap. Like box code is spelled in here. Also, I've ran into errors before where it's easier to make it to where, I know this is weird sounding, but make your .x mesh file the same as your classes. It makes it a whole lot easier, number one, to work with stuff. And yeah. Oh crap, that's box codex. Anyway, if we were to throw this in game, we'd just get a box and it would work fine. Yeah, it'd work fine. So anyway, yeah, so, but if we throw it into the game, this is what it would look like. Wait a minute. It would be literally white. That's what it would look like, but 10 times worse. It'd be untextured. It'd look bad. So if we wanted to texture it, you can't do it inside of 3ds Max. You can't just use the material editor and change the color. You can't do that. You can't change the color in the material editor. So what you have to do is you have to actually texture it um, in a program. So I use paint.net, but anyway, you're gonna select what you want to texture. Don't select your CDT. Don't do that. And now you're gonna go to modifiers, UV coordinates, and unwrap UVW. Okay, now you'll get this thing in modifier list, and you can also find it in modifier list, by the way. But you'll see all these selections. So what you do is you select polygon first, make sure everything's set up right. Yep, that looks right. But you're gonna select the box right here. You select polygon, then select that box. And you're gonna hit Control A. You'll notice that it's red. It's fine. Leave it red. Then you're gonna hit Edit UVs. Hit Open UV Editor. Now, what this means, you will first go to Mapping, Normal Mapping, Undo Rotate Clusters, and select any type of mapping. Do box mapping. That's the easiest. And you'll get all of these. Basically what they are, it's just the sides of the box. So now you want to just hit Tools, Render UV Template. Make your thing lower. Don't make it a 1080i image. That's just way too much. I'm gonna do 480i. Oh crap, that didn't go too well. Just make it a 480i image. 480 and 480. You want make sure it's a square too, not a rectangle, or else the game it'll be weird. So now you're just gonna do model mode, and you're gonna hit solid. Don't show your overlapping, and I guess undo those or visible edges, and then hit render UV template. Should look something like this. This looks normal. Now we're just gonna hit save image. And actually, I need to do something. So in your folder with with classes and meshes, hit new folder and make textures. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Oh crap. No, Jesus Christ. But textures, name it right. You don't. I guess that's right. I don't know. But then you're gonna make a trucks. You don't have to, but make a trucks. Dang, can I not spell today? You can do wheels, but that's literally stupid. To make a wheels. But go to your thing where you put the textures, trucks. Then you want to type in. Let's just name this uh, box one. And then what you're going to the format. There's different formats. You can do something like a DDS image file. You can do TGA. I'm gonna do DDS. That's more reliable. Um, uh, so yeah, so do box one, name it whatever. Do DDS image file, hit save. These stuff don't worry about, don't matter. Um, Now we're done. We're done with the UV mapping technically. So well, technically not. We haven't actually textured this right here. So box1.dds. Open it up with paint.net. Well, I guess that's the only thing you can really open it up with. Or if you have Photoshop, you can import it and then save it as a save or export it as a DDS. I think that's what it does. I don't like Photoshop. To me, Photoshop's just too much. And then when it all loads in, you'll see the same stuff that you got in 3ds Max. If I wanted to make this box, the box black color, if we coded it right, this would be a black color, black box. But I like to do, I'm gonna show you some techniques to, I'm gonna show you some techniques to texturing in 3ds or in paint.net. So let's say I want to sidestep my name because I love my name. Not really, but let's just put, oh crap. I like, you can put your name like this. So I'm gonna make it pretty big and just do risky whiskey, just like that. If I wanted that on each side of the box, I just literally put it on each side of the box. Now in reality, it's gonna look like potato quality because this image is potato quality. So it's easy to run. Uh, don't try to do like something like some crazy huge image. Just do a normal image. Oh yeah, also make a new layer if you're gonna do your name. New layer, that helps. Go to effects, go to glow. Uh, you'll notice something like that. You can make the radius go out or in. I like it like that. It looks cooler. And if we go to our background image, let's say I want it a blue. Well, I'm actually going to just make it a blue, okay? But the catch here is I'm going to go and take the magic wand tool and select each one of them. And then I'm going to go to effects, noise, and add noise. Now, no, this is not for sound and crap. This is what it does. But you can change your color saturation, take the intensity down a lot. Now, if this was on a truck, it'd look a lot cooler. You can't really see it, but if this was zoomed in, you could. Actually, I'm going to do it again. So something like 9 or 18. 18 is a good color choice. So yeah, so now if we threw this in game, it'd actually look a lot cooler than just a solid color. So yeah, so now you're just going to hit Control S. Then you're going to actually hit DDS on here. Well, oh, that's great. Okay, well, if you have that issue, go to adjustments. I think it is. No, image flatten, or Control Shift F. And then you'll get that. It just takes all the layers and combine them in one. And you're gonna hit save as, or save, and then hit OK. Alright, now the UV mapping is done. Now what I can do actually is take the image, drag it into 3ds Max, and just put it on there. Now if you look at that. Our model has Risky Whiskey on it. It doesn't look the best, but look, see, That's what you can accomplish with texturing. So anyway, now we have to code it to basically, if in game, it'd still be that sucky white, and we don't want that sucky white. I hope you don't want that. So what we're gonna do is we're actually going to go into here, hit Spintires or trucks, and you're gonna go back all the way to box code, and then you're gonna go to meshes, trucks, and then you're gonna see box code.x. Hit this, hit new, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go all the way to bitmap image. I know that sounds weird, but what you're gonna now do is you're gonna select everything, even the D and P. And now you're gonna do your name box code or whatever that your x.x file is, box code.xml. Hit enter. Hit if you want. Just hit yes right here, and you'll get an XML file. Now still our texture won't show up, obviously. But now that we have this, it's just an empty slate. So what we're gonna do is, let's see, I'm gonna find, so basically, you're gonna get a mesh, XML, or, yeah, I think you're gonna go trucks. This is from a previous mod, um, but anyway, it'll still work. Just hit Control V, and then, oh crap, I don't want to delete half the stuff, but now you're gonna have to type, oh crap, wait, no, I want to keep one of these, actually. But I'll give a link in the description for this, so you guys don't have to, like, freaking try finding it. So anyway, mesh parts. Basically, you're gonna go into 3ds Max. This is named box 001. I don't want it named box 001. I'm gonna name it box, just box, because it's a box, a lovely box. So then in mesh parts, I'm gonna just name it box because that's the name. Diffuse map, I don't use all the specular map and all that stuff. I don't like it, honestly. Um, then what you're gonna do is we gotta find the name of the image that we were working with, which is box1.dds. Box1. Wait, put 2 underscores and a D for diffuse map. Okay, and then what you're gonna do actually is go into, I should have said this before actually, but you're supposed to go, you're basically supposed to name anything, any texture with, at the end of it, having, with an extension of underscore underscore D. It's just supposed to be like that, just how it's been, makes it actually read the texture or something. I'm not actually sure, but I've just done it. So anyway, when you have that done, just hit Control S to save. And yeah, so now you've basically, this box is done. If we wanted axles, this is how, in springs and stuff. This is, oh, that's great. Oh wait, I renamed it, so. So if we wanted a axle, let's just say, I'm gonna lift this box up just a little bit, because I want an axle. I'm going to do a pretty basic axle. You can get some off of SketchUp or even model your own, but I'm just going to do 2 simple cylinders. These aren't going to be lined with the wheels, just because I'm not going to edit the wheels or the positioning of them. Basically, just I'm going to create a cylinder. You can do the same. Now you're going to have to edit your cylinder. Don't do scale. You can use scale, but don't use it. Just edit the radius and height. So I think that's a good axle. That's pretty big, actually. It doesn't matter. I use a real axle if you're going to want to make a quality mod. I'm just using literally a cylinder just for the sake of it to make it easy. But now you want to right click on it if you're using a cylinder, just rotate it. to, I think, X, or just move it, make it 90. All right, there. Now we have an axle that's not even aligned with the truck. So yeah, you also have to make your axle above this thing or whatever. Make it above it. So yeah, there. I have an axle. Woohoo, you made your first axle. Now I will be putting animation on it. I will be putting, I will animate the axles. Because if we just throw this into the game right now, these axles would literally just stay there. And that's no fun. So anyway, if we wanted to animate it, what we're going to do is we have to make something called bones. We should have actually done this earlier. We don't have to. But the bones basically, like, they're the bones. They move everything. They're like, so you gotta have at least 3 bones. Do 3 bones. Just make 3 bones. Makes everything easier when you only have 3. So anyway, to make bones, you're first gonna hit F for front, which, yep. I'm gonna line this up actually. There. You're gonna make bones. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the create panel that looks like a sun. I don't know how to explain it. Then you're gonna hit systems, I think. Yeah, systems. You're gonna hit bones. You're gonna basically try to get as humanly possible to the middle of your cylinder or your axle and click on it. And then do that. And then you're gonna hit delete and then delete. And then you're gonna use the scale option to scale it down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hit P for perspective, for a perspective view. And you're going to take the Y, the green axis, and stretch it across your whole axle and your whole model. Then you're just going to clone it. No, you don't clone it, actually. Don't clone it at all. But you're just going to make a new bone. Take it to, like, right here or something. And then there. Doesn't matter what it looks like. What it looks like at all, the bone. It'll just look like a bone. Okay? That doesn't matter. Looks don't matter. Because you won't actually see this in game. So yeah, if you did see it in game, that would be pretty weird. And most mods would look pretty weird too. Uh, so yeah, once you're done making your 3 bones and scaling them and doing all that, basically then you can start with animation. Now you can do, it's not like freaking Pixar animation. It's not animation. It's nothing what you think. It's simple animation that takes 2 seconds. So let's say I wanted to skin. It's basically called skinning slash animation. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to skin it. I'll actually take both of them and go to the modify panel, hit the modify list, scroll down until you see skin. Not skin wrap or skin morph or skin wrap patch, but skin. Okay, now you'll see like this whole new box and stuff. Now if I moved these, nothing happens, but if I skinned them, it would. Uh, Basically, the bone is the parent, and the axle, or whatever is being skinned, is the child. The child moves with the parent, and that's basically what happens. So if we want to skin the axle, we're going to go select both of them, hit bones, add, select bone 1, bone 2, and bone 3. I suggest to rename them, but you don't have to. So now you're going to select one of your cylinders and basically click on the bone right next to the cylinder. In my case, it's bone 3. Click on bone 3, then hit edit envelopes. you'll get this. Okay, this is normal. Now if I actually look, are these skinned? Oh crap. So yeah, so as you can see, my bone is moving. Oh crap. My bone is moving with the axle. That's normal. That's good. But is this one moving with it? I don't think so. Yes, it is. It's don't move the axle when you're trying to move a bone. Move the bone. Basically, yeah, this is working great. So now if we wanted leaf springs, I don't like leaf springs. I don't do cars with leaf springs. I think Stetson, he has a tutorial. There's a couple tutorials on how to do them. They don't work really good, so I don't ever use them. I don't suggest using them ever. But anyway, use them if you like them. Use them if you don't use them if you don't like them. I'm going to teach you guys how to do coilovers. Coilovers, they ain't much. They're just coils. Go to the geometry thing in the create panel, and then you're going to hit dynamic objects, and then you hit spring. I mean, because we're working with a spring, right? So then you're just going to make a spring. Now, this thing, it doesn't even look like a spring, as you can tell. So now you're going to have to edit the stuff like the diameter and whatnot, how many turns it has. I suggest making a lot of turns, more turns than you should. About 8 for this one, I'm going to do. Actually, no, I'm going to do lower. I'm going to do 5. So now that we have our spring, we can basically just put it on. Now, I'm not going to have any special hooks or anything that I'm going to do. I'm just going to simply throw it on there. That's nowhere near good, but who cares? There, we got a spring. Now, it's not going to move like it should right now. It won't until we have it. We're going to skin it just like we did with the other bone, or with the other axles. We're going to do the same thing with these. It's not a hard process, as you just saw with the axles. That was like the simplest thing in the world to do, right? Yes, it is, but at the same time, stuff can mess up. Um, so I don't just be careful with your skinning and stuff. Careful. There, it doesn't have to be perfect. Oh crap. Um, Now, if you want both a leaf spring and coilover suspension, if you don't know much about cars, most trucks, F-250s and stuff, have it to where coils in the front and leaves in the back. I suggest doing that for some cars too, like if you're going to be using a Ford or making a Ford. But anyway, it's also to make leaf springs, you do animation. But what I'm going to do is you select, you're going to hit one of them, hit right click, hit select similar. Okay, now you're going to do the exact same thing you did with the axles. Go to modifier list, hit skin, not skin more for any of that crap. Just skin, okay? Then you hit bones add, hit each one of your bones, hit select, there. Now this is bone 3, my front axle. It may be different for you, but this is bone 3. So I'm going to select this one, only one at a time. You're going to hit edit envelopes. I didn't know if I made that specific. Select bone 3. Make sure everything's red, okay? You have to select vertices. Now you're going to hit Control A, meaning it'll select all. Your bottom bone is bone 3, your axle bone. Your top bone is going to be bone 2. You're going to hit refresh, set weights. Now this is what you're supposed to have. Red on the bottom, and then it progresses to have blue at the top, yellow to blue. That's what you're supposed to have. If it doesn't, rework it, redo something. If you have blue to orange, then you have your bones right here set up wrong. So I suggest make your top bone the right bone. Your top bone's the middle bone, and then your bottom bone this bone. Also hit refresh. I didn't do that, but so we have the front two working. Basically, watch. As I move this, as you can see, the spring is moving with the axle. That's normal. Uh, Obviously, I think we want it to be like this. The whole spring does move. It's not like part of it moves and part of it doesn't. Now, if we move those, basically, it's not skinned to the bone right there. You can do it manually without the spring weight tool for a margin. Hopefully I pronounced his name right. But you can do it like that, but it's not gonna work out well. It takes hours of reconstruction or whatever, each individual, and then normally it doesn't look as good. And you want this to look high dollar. Top bone, bottom bone. So wait, you get the memo, right? I hope that works right, because it doesn't look normal. That doesn't look at all normal to me. Oh wait, it is normal. Wait a minute, what about that bottom? I'm not sure what's happening with this axle. I think I did something wrong in the skinning process, but anyway, that's fine. I did everything right. So you're just gonna do this to all four stuff. To all four springs. Now I'm done with my animation. Pop it in game, and yeah. Well, no, you can't do that. Because number one, the game's like, what the heck? What bones are these? Game doesn't realize that they're bones, or they don't realize that they are bones, actually. To make the game realize that they're bones, you actually gotta edit the config file. So, not the config file, the XML. Um, so yeah, so we're gonna have to go all the way back to meshes, uh, or actually no, we have to go to classes, trucks, boxcode.xml, and then you have to hit search, find. You have to find bone. Um, do it until you find something like axles. Axles, that's exactly what it is. You're gonna rename them. You're basically gonna put your axle bones in. Mine, in my case, is bone 001 and bone 003. Yours may be different because you might have done front axle, back axle, or whatever. You might have done your middle part first, but it doesn't matter. So now we actually have a fully working truck. Now what we have to do, now also you can skin all your springs and axles just like I did with the box, but I'm not going to do that. You're going to hit 3, you're going to hit export, then you're going to do boxcode.x. Yes. Export binary, export materials, export skinning, not animation, just skinning, and you hit OK. So yay, you've made a mod, okay? Now, it each mod doesn't take, literally, that wasn't even an hour. That was probably 30 minutes. And yeah, so each mod really honestly doesn't take this long. Each mod may take a week, even just a full day, a full week, or a full month. It depends on the quality of the mod and all that stuff. And yes, the quality of the mod does matter, by the way. So now we can just throw it in game, right? Well, yeah, I guess. So just take all these three stuff, copy it, paste it into your media. So yeah, so let's just throw it into game and see how it is. By the way, your thing when you first test it may be sideways, or not sideways, but maybe facing the wrong way. If mine will be facing the wrong way, so I'll show you how to do that after we test it. So yeah, oh, yeah, a fair tip: use Paint.net. Don't use Photoshop. Photoshop just it's the same thing, but it just you gotta pay for Photoshop, and uh, you don't want to pay for stuff. So use Paint.net. You can get it online for free. Actually, I'll link it in the video description down below. But anyway, yeah. Also, if you want to add something to Steam, like let's just say I wanted to add this mod to Steam, you have to put it in the editor. You have to make a new mod in the editor, and they just throw all those contents in the editor. So yeah, in the mods folder. It doesn't take long, but also make sure that everything is working fine. Make sure your mod's like on point. If it's not, then the editor will start complaining. Oh, Jesus Christ. Um, and then your mod won't work as well in the workshop version and stuff. I've had a mod before where it literally works only with the file version. So, oh crap, that's not what we want. Main menu. But anyway, to test it, I suggest you go to something called the Proving Ground. I think everyone's heard of it. Where in the world is it? Oh wait, it's on the side, isn't it? Yup, it's on the side. If you make mods for the original Spintires, this is the same process. Everything's the same. Nothing's been different or changed throughout versions of the game. Maybe there's like something that's small, but not much. Oh, yeah, also this is another project I've been working on. So say hi. Let's spawn this in. And let's see what I can do. Let's see, let me see. It's gonna be named... Oh crap, that's not it. I actually want to see that mod. Wait a minute, are the tires working on this? They are. Or no, they're not. But anyway, you're gonna find your mod. Actually, my mod is named the wrong thing. So if you leave, actually no, it's not. It's called box something, isn't it? Yeah, box something. So you're just gonna try to find it. It's gonna take a little bit if you have like all these freaking mods and stuff. Is it named B66? No, it's not. Okay. So you're gonna have to find it. It's gonna take just a little bit. Um, let me just do this. Oh, that doesn't work too well. Okay, let's see. It's gonna take a little bit to find it, like this, taking a while. Um, it's not going to be, it's gonna be named what your classes is named. I suggest that you rename what your classes is. Uh, like name it something like crazy. Dang, when will I be able to find this thing? Jesus. Alright, you know what I'm gonna do? I suggest you do this. Just go to your main menu and use a pre-made proving ground, but that's not in your proving ground folder. So something like a map that's easy to load. Like, and I mean super easy. Uh, like this Nick's Sandy Miss, and then just take it. Oh wait, that's the wrong mod. Alright, I don't know what's going on, but what in the world? Look, media, Spintires, media. Maybe I put it in the wrong media. Alright, I'm gonna have to take all this. Actually, you know what? Box code. I can't copy. Oh, okay. Anyway, just take your whole box code box folder. I meant just paste it into Spintires Mud Runner. Okay, then just work it out in config.xml. Uh, media path equals box code end quotations. There we go. So see, now it's gonna work, I hope. The game's probably gonna crash and say you fucked up. Anyway, let's see if it's gonna work. There. No, I'm gonna have to restart my game. Dadgummit. I'll cut this out. But anyway, yeah, so if your thing, is the wrong way, which mine probably is, you're gonna select all, you're gonna group it. Now you're gonna go to the rotate section of things, rotate it this way, Z, and just make it 90 degrees. Doesn't matter which way it is facing in here, just change it to 90 degrees. Um, then export it. So yeah, so that's how you make a mod in Spintires Mod Runner. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, comment down below if you have any questions. If you want to make a wheel, I'll link a description down below on how to make wheels. And yeah, so that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see ya.